Gaming's never been cheap, but we've always found a way to make it work. That's why Xbox Game Pass felt like a game changer. Tons of games, one cheap monthly price. At first, it was awesome. It felt like Xbox was on the gamer's side. But now, that $10 a month deal has jumped to $30, and it's starting to feel less like a perk and more like a power move. Xbox gave us an amazing deal, got us hooked on the convenience, and now they're betting you'll pay more, even if the value isn't really there. Meanwhile, surprise, Nintendo's doing the opposite. While Xbox keeps raising prices and changing the rules, Nintendo has stayed consistent. Nintendo charges a premium price, but they're honest about it. You get exactly what they promise. No tiers, no surprise add-ons, no pulling the rug out from under you. And most of the time, it's actually a premium product. That's why they might be the last major gaming company actually fighting for players. So in this video, we're asking, why is Nintendo looking better than ever while Xbox is betting big on expensive subscriptions? Let's break it down and find out who's really on the gamer's side. Xbox Game Pass used to feel like a gift. One price, hundreds of games, even day one blockbusters. It felt like Xbox was finally building something for the players. And honestly, it was a great deal for a while. But just last week, that deal changed. Game Pass Ultimate jumped to a $30 a month price. That's $360 a year, more than the price of 6 full games. And it's not just about cost. Some big titles are skipping Game Pass now. Studio closures are happening, and the overall library is starting to feel thinner. It's not just about raising prices, it's about shifting the whole platform. Xbox has gone big on acquisitions, buying up major publishers and developers. The biggest one? Activision Blizzard. That deal was massive, not just for Call of Duty or Candy Crush, but for Control. Xbox now owns some of the most powerful IP in gaming. And here's the thing, that move wasn't just about games, it was about leverage. Xbox is betting on a future where they own the content, the platform, and the subscription model. They want Game Pass to be the default way people play Xbox games. Not by making it the best deal, by making it the only real option left. That's a huge shift. Instead of selling games, they're selling access. And once you're used to that, it's easy to raise prices because leaving the service means losing everything. Your saves, your games, your progress. It's not just a business move. It's a strategy to control the entire ecosystem, and that's what makes this so important to pay attention to, not just for Xbox fans, but for the future of gaming in general. While Xbox is shifting the rules, Nintendo's sticking to theirs, and that consistency, it's starting to look really smart. Nintendo charges a premium, no doubt. A Mario game that launched 7 years ago, still $70. Their first party titles almost never go on sale. But here's what makes them different. You get what you pay for. When you buy a Nintendo game, it's yours. No subscription, no expiration, no weird strings attached. Whether it's a cartridge or a download, you own it. Simple as that. And while other platforms push tiered subscriptions and rotating libraries, Nintendo keeps it simple. The basic Switch Online service is just $20 a year. Even the expansion pack maxes out at $50. It's still one of the most straightforward offerings in gaming. Get online play, cloud saves, and classic games from older consoles. No upsells, no tricks. Now, it's true, Nintendo recently increased prices on some Switch 1 models due to tariffs. But with the Switch 2 now out, they've held the line. Despite inflation and global supply challenges, the base model is still $449. That's a big win for players. Instead of pushing costs onto the newest buyers, they shifted pressure to accessories, controllers, docks, and bundles. while keeping the main console within reach. And here's the surprising part. Even though Nintendo gets clowned on for being behind the times, re-releasing old games, or having a clunky online system, they still enjoy an unusual level of trust. Because while they might frustrate fans occasionally, they rarely frustrate the everyday customer. They're clear about what they sell, and they usually deliver on that promise. In a world full of changes and surprises, Nintendo's old school approach is starting to feel like a strength, not a flaw. Here's the real issue behind all of this. It's not just about prices, it's about trust and control. When a company builds an ecosystem where you don't buy games, you rent them, they hold all the power. If they raise prices, you either pay more or lose access. If they change the terms, you don't get a say. And that shifts gaming from something you own to something you borrow. That's what's happening with Game Pass. It started as a great deal, but over time, the deal changed. And now Xbox is making a bet that you've become too used to the convenience to walk away, even if the value drops. That's a big shift in how the gaming industry works. And this is why Nintendo's model matters so much right now. They're not perfect, but they're not trying to reinvent the player relationship either. They make games, you buy them, you keep them. No mandatory subscriptions, no check-ins, no fine print. It sounds simple, but in today's market, it's almost radical. Because at the end of the day, players don't want to feel like they're just leasing their favorite hobby. They want ownership. They want stability. They want to know that what they buy today will still be there tomorrow. And for all its quirks, Nintendo still offers that. You might pay more up front, and you might not get cutting-edge features, but you get a game, a system, and a company that hasn't turned your trust into a pricing experiment. That kind of reliability is rare, and that's exactly why it's worth paying attention to. Xbox started with great intentions. Game Pass was a breakthrough. Affordable access to hundreds of games all in one place. It gave players a lot of value fast. But now, the deal is changing. The price has jumped. The library's shifting, and the sense of ownership, that's fading fast. Xbox is betting that players are too used to the convenience to push back. That's why this conversation matters. Because while Xbox is reshaping the relationship between players and their games, Nintendo's approach hasn't changed much at all. They charge a premium, sure, but they're upfront. You buy a game, you play it, you keep it. No gimmicks, no subscriptions, no strings. It's simple. And in 2025, that simplicity feels kind of bold. Nintendo's not perfect, but in a gaming industry full of fine print and shifting models, they've kept one thing clear. The game you buy is yours. If you're someone who values ownership, clarity, and consistency, Nintendo might just be the last one standing. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to Legend of Potato for more level-headed commentary on gaming and beyond. Thanks for watching.